So my dear students, my synthesis series is going on, and today again I've brought very important topic. This is called noun phrase in apposition, and by using this method we will combine two or more than two simple sentences to make one simple sentence. And first of all, we need to know what is a noun, what is phrase, and what is apposition. So let's know about these things. First of all, if we talk about noun, we know that all those things of the universe which has been given a name is called noun. So all those things which we can see, we can hear, we can taste, and even those things comes into this category which we can feel. Like, if we talk about, the things which we can see from our eyes, like table, chair, books, and all those things, which have a name. And the things which we cannot see but we can feel, like honesty, truthfulness, and lies, and so many other things are there, love, hatred. These things we cannot see, we cannot touch, but we can feel. So noun is a very broad topic and lots of things can be said about noun. So you just go to my video and watch there that what is the parts of speech noun and why it is so much importance. So today I'm not going to tell you so much about noun. So let's talk about what is a phrase. So let's talk about what is a phrase. Phrase means, it's collection of some words without a verb. So phrase means when you have some words but you don't have, neither you have subject nor any verb, so you can call it a phrase. Like if we say that at the gate, on the table, in the room, so these type of, collection of words are called phrase. Now let's move towards the third thing, that is apposition. Apposition means, when we keep, two things side by side, it's called apposition. Okay, so let's see that how can we add two or more than two simple sentences by using this method. Okay, now try to understand what I'm saying. Suppose I have written a sentence, okay, and first of all you need to write two sentences, or it can be more than two sentences also which we add. So if I write a sentence and subject of that particular sentence is related with other noun in the sentence or other phrase in the sentence, so what we need to do that we will take out that particular noun from there and we will place it just after the subject. It relates between two commas. So got it? Let me tell you in Hindi also. अगर आपने एक सेंटेंस लिखा तो उस सेंटेंस का जो सब्जेक्ट है ऑब्वियसली वो नाउन होगा. वो नाउन उसी सेंटेंस के किसी दूसरे नाउन से रिलेट कर रहा है या फिर दूसरे सेंटेंस के किसी नाउन से रिलेट कर रहा है, तो हम उसको वहां से उठाकर जस्ट सब्जेक्ट के बगल में दो कॉमा के बीच में लिख देंगे. ओके, एंड देन आफ्टर राइटिंग इट we will start with, once we put the apposition just after the noun it relates, what we will do that we will start our sentence with the verb. Okay, तो उसको अपोजिशन में रखने के बाद व्हाट विल डू कि हम अपना सेंटेंस को फिर वर्ब से शुरू करेंगे. सो इट कैन बी लाइक सब्जेक्ट एंड ऑब्जेक्ट बोथ. I mean to say that, if subject relates with some other noun, we will put it just behind beside the subject. Or if object relates with some other noun in the same sentence or in other sentence, we will put it just, after the object. Okay, so I'll give you an example so that it becomes clear to you. So I've written two sentences. Shakespeare wrote Julius Caesar. He was a great dramatist. So these are the two sentences. What we'll do that first Shakespeare wrote Julius Caesar. So first we'll see that Shakespeare is the subject, and we will have to find out if any other verb is there which is relating with the subject or which is telling exactly about the subject, you know, what it is. So Shakespeare wrote Julius Caesar. No, he was a great dramatist. So we have found, you know, this phrase, a great dramatist. This phrase is telling exactly about the subject. It means Shakespeare, a great dramatist. Both are same. Understand? So, but Shakespeare and Julius Caesar are not same. Shakespeare and a great dramatist, both are the same person. Okay. So, what we'll do that, we will write Shakespeare and we'll put a comma after it, and then we'll write this phrase, Shakespeare, a great dramatist. I just told you that we will have to take the phrase or noun which is relating with the subject, and we will put it just after the subject it relates. Okay. So, आपने क्या किया कि यहाँ पे शेक्सपियर रोट जूलियस सीजर, ही वॉज अ ग्रेट ड्रामेटिस्ट. तो यहाँ पे जो शेक्सपियर सब्जेक्ट है उसके बारे में ये वाले सेंटेंस में ये ग्रेट ड्रामेटिस्ट रिलेट कर रहा है. तो हमने क्या किया, उसको वहां से उठाया, इस फ्रेज को जैसे मैंने अभी बोला था कि फ्रेज इज अ कलेक्शन ऑफ सम वर्ड्स. So here we see a great dramatist, but we don't find any verb in it. So ये एक फ्रेज हो गया. तो हमने क्या किया कि शेक्सपियर के बाद इस फ्रेज को लिखा और कॉमा से उसको अलग कर दिया. ठीक है. And what we'll do then, after putting this apposition, this is called apposition. Apposition means, you know, to keep side by side. So I have kept this phrase beside this subject, you know, Shakespeare or noun, and after putting it, you know, once we put the apposition right beside the subject, what we need to do that we will start our sentence with a verb. So Shakespeare, a great dramatist, was, sorry, not was, here the was is wrong. So here once we have written he was great dramatist, so we will take this wrote. So Shakespeare, a great dramatist wrote Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar. Okay. So now our sentence is complete and we have only one finite verb. This is wrote. Okay. So let's take another example of object. Here we see that in this sentence, you know, subject is relating with this phrase. Let's take another example of object, you know, if it is relating with any noun or phrase. Now taking another example, Ram killed Ravana. Ravan was the king of Lanka. So here in this sentence we find that, you know, Ram killed Ravana. First of all, we need to find a, you know, an opposition for Ram. So we are not finding any, we are not getting any opposition for Ram. Ram killed Ravana. Ram, so we are not getting any opposition for Ravana. So what we'll do that, you know, Ram killed Ravana. So here we see that Ram is subject, killed is verb, and Ravana is object. So we have found an opposition for Ravana, that he was king of Lanka. Okay. So what we'll do that, we will write it like this, that Ram killed Ravana, and then after it we will put a comma, the king of Lanka. Okay. So our sentence is complete. We have added these two sentences because we find that in this sentence, you know, subject doesn't find any opposition, but the object find an opposition, as the king of Lanka. So what we'll do that after writing the whole sentence, Ram killed Ravana. So after this object, we'll put a comma and we'll write the phrase in opposition. So लेट मी टेल यू हिंदी ऑल्सो कि मैंने क्या किया कि यहाँ पे 2 सेंटेंस लिखा. राम किल्ड रावणा, रावणा वॉज द किंग ऑफ लंका. सो सबसे पहले हमने देखा कि राम जो हमारा पहला सब्जेक्ट है उसका अपोजिशन हमको मिल नहीं रहा है. तो हमने क्या किया कि यहाँ पे रावणा देखा, रावणा का अपोजिशन मिला कि ही वॉज किंग ऑफ लंका. एक फ्रेज मिल गया हमें. तो हमने क्या किया कि हमने पहले सेंटेंस को पूरा लिखा, राम किल्ड रावणा. लिखने के बाद हमने इसको कॉमा लगा के इस फ्रेज को किंग ऑफ लंका को उसके बाद में लिख दिया. ठीक है, तो ऑलरेडी हमारे पास ये वर्ब है, एक फाइनाइट वर्ब, तो हमारा सेंटेंस जो है ये जुड़ गया. ठीक है, लेट्स टेक फ्यू मोर एग्जाम्पल्स सो दैट इट बिकम्स क्रिस्टल क्लियर टू यू दैट व्हाट इज अ फ्रेज इन अपोजिशन. नाउ टेक इन अनदर एग्जाम्पल टू मेक इट क्लियर टू यू. द सेंटेंस इज जॉन बैनियन रोट द बुक कॉल्ड Pilgrim's Progress. I'm repeat. John Bunyan wrote the book called Pilgrim's Progress. He had once been a thoughtless youth. So we have 2 sentences. First, John Bunyan wrote the book called Pilgrim's Progress. He had once been a thoughtless youth. So what we'll do that first, John Bunyan, a noun. It is the subject of the sentence. So what we need to do that we have to find an apposition for it. Apposition means the word which tells exactly the same about the subject. So John Bunyan wrote the book called Pilgrim's Progress. So Pilgrim's Progress, this is the name of the book. It cannot be the in apposition of John Bunyan. So what we need to do that in this sentence we don't find any apposition. So let's look at other sentence. He had once been a thoughtless youth. So he means we are talking about John Bunyan. So what he had been? He had been a thoughtless youth. So this thoughtless youth, it is a collection of some words. It is a phrase. So this phrase is actually, it can be put just behind, just beside the subject John Bunyan, because this phrase exactly tells about John Bunyan, what he was. So what we'll do, we will write it like this, that John Bunyan and now after writing the subject we will write this phrase, and after putting it between 2 commas we'll write the the position. So John Bunyan, a thoughtless youth, So now our position is complete. John Bunyan, a thoughtless youth, and now we'll complete the sentence by starting with verb. Wrote the book called Pilgrim's Progress. So this is the sentence. Wrote the book called Pilgrim's Progress. So now this sentence is, it's, we have added these 2 sentences and now we have only one verb, that is wrote. Okay, let's take one more example. And so we have taken 3 sentences together. Ashwapati was the king of Madura. This is one sentence. He had a daughter. This is second sentence. She was very beautiful. This is the third sentence. So what we do that, first Ashwapati was the king of Madura. So we find the apposition in the first sentence only, because Ashwapati and king of Madura, they are the same person. Okay, so we can put this king of Madura, this is a phrase, just beside the subject Ashwapati in apposition. So it would be like this, I'll start the sentence like this, that Ashwapati, and now we have to put comma, because case in a position or noun in a position can be put just, between two commas. So Ashwapati, the king of Madura. Now we have closed the comma and we'll start our sentence with verb. Had. He means Ashwapati. So already we have mentioned Ashwapati, so we don't need to write he again. We'll write had. Had. Since we see that we have three finite verbs. So Ashwapati was the king of Madura. First sentence, what we did that we make it a apposition, so we don't need to write this verb. And now he had a daughter. So one verb is here and another finite verb is here, was. So what we'll do that, we'll write it like this. Ashwapati, the king of Madura, had a, we will take this adjective beautiful, just, we will write this adjective beautiful just before this noun daughter, okay? So it will start defining or describing this noun daughter. So Ashwapati, the king of Madura, had a beautiful daughter. ओके, बस हमारा सेंटेंस जुड़ गया. सो हमने क्या किया, पहले बता दूं, अश्वपति वॉज द किंग ऑफ मदुरा. तो पहले हमने देखा कि अश्वपति का जो समानाधिकरण जो वर्ड है, या हिंदी में हमने समानाधिकरण वर्ड बोला या इंग्लिश में अपोजिशन बोला. जो अपोजिशन वाला वर्ड है वो उसी सेंटेंस में हमको मिल गया, दैट इज अश्वपति द किंग ऑफ मदुरा. तो हमने लिखा अश्वपति द किंग ऑफ मदुरा. ये एक फ्रेज है, इसको मैंने कॉमा से अलग करके उसी के बगल में, सब्जेक्ट के बगल में लिखा. उसके बाद ही हैड अ डॉटर, शी वॉज वेरी ब्यूटिफुल. तो हमारे पास दो फाइनाइट वर्ब है, उसको हमें एक बनाना है, क्योंकि हम एक सिंपल सेंटेंस में एक ही फाइनाइट वर्ब रख सकते हैं. तो हमने यहां से ब्यूटीफुल एडजेक्टिव को उठाकर इस नाउन के पहले रख दिया. ठीक है, तो हमारा बन गया अश्वपति द किंग ऑफ मदुरा had a beautiful daughter. Okay, now this sentence is combined. So hope you understood it well. Now we will start with complex sentence in my next video. Okay, so just like and subscribe my video. Okay.